For more New Jersey history brought to life, I'm traveling about 12 miles from Hillsborough to East Jersey Old Town Village, which is sort of like a mini colonial Williamsburg. It's in Piscataway, New Jersey, in Middlesex County. Mark Nonesteid, the county historian, is showing me around East Jersey Old Town Village.
This is a collection of historic buildings, about 15 of them, that were relocated to this park back in the 1970s and early 1980s. There's a schoolhouse, a church, we have a blacksmith shop, a barn. We're also part of the crossroads of the American Revolution National Heritage Area, as well as the Washington Rochambeau National Historic Trail. And we interpret a broad swath of the past, both from the colonial period, the 18th century, the Revolutionary War, but we also go into the 19th century. You know, the American Revolution led to, another revolution, the Industrial Revolution. In our print shop here, we talk about that time period and demonstrate some of the historic equipment that we have. So we have military reenactors here as well, interpreting both the Revolutionary War period as well as the Civil War. And they do musket firing demonstrations on the green. And of course, this is an important part of the interpretation of our site.
Next, we're stepping inside a colonial home.
So we're heading to the Pound House. This home was built in the late 1700s, and we talk about home and hearth cooking during the colonial period.
Thank you. We've got some pickled eggs.
We have pickled eggs and dill pickles, some dried apples and some dried green beans because they had to get all of their food through the winter. There was no grocery store to rescue them.
This is the biggest squash I've ever seen. Where did you get this?
We grew it in our kitchen garden.
My goodness.
This one has my salt in it and the other one my pepper.
Sharon Goodman is not only growing crops, she's cooking up dishes using colonial ingredients and recipes.
This is bread made with a recipe from colonial times that you have made.
That I have made in the old-fashioned way. Would you like to try?
Absolutely.
Bread was a very important part of the diet for the family, so they would have bread with every meal, and so they baked a lot of bread, probably about 30 loaves per week.
I would love to have a sandwich with this.
There you go. You are fitting right into 18th century.
I start with bread and end inside a tavern where in colonial times I might have been toasting with a beer.
So we're in the Indian Queen Tavern. This building was originally built in the 1700s in New Brunswick, and in fact it was one of the first buildings to be relocated here to East Jersey Old Town in the 1970s.
Of course it was first. You got to bring the tavern in,
Right.
and then everything else follows.
We have a display of tavern life from that period. Taverns were important buildings in colonial America, especially here in New Jersey. Our location between New York and Philadelphia, there were many overland routes. So to accommodate those travelers, communities set up taverns for people to get food, but also to spend the night as well. And so there's this exchange of information that takes place in a building like this.
Mark, what types of drinks would they have had in a tavern like this?
Well, so some of the historic records that survive list the different types of wines that they serve. We have wine bottles that were imported from England, also from France.
So wine, perhaps beer, maybe some Applejack?
Yep. That was well known in New Jersey as well.
It's pretty special that here in New Jersey there are all these sites that you can visit. It really does help paint a picture of what life was like.